Hi, friends. Happy Friday. Oh, that's so great to say. Happy Friday. I'm really glad it's Friday. I missed being with you guys this past Wednesday. I apologize, but I'm so happy to be here with you now. And I am excited to do our projects together. We have a couple of them tonight. We are going to add some pictures to one of the simple page kits that we made several months ago. It is from October of 2024. So it is a Halloween theme, and I'm really excited to add the pictures to it because I had some really cute pictures. It was a really fun night with my youngest daughter and my oldest granddaughter at an amusement park. So I am excited to share those with you tonight and get that page done for my calendar album. And then, if you have been following the blog, the Creative Memories blog, there is a challenge going on right now in honor of Earth Day. And it is a scrap challenge, which is our favorite kind of challenge, right? And it's called hashtag scraps to stories. And what that is, you take the scraps that you have left over and you make a page. So it's very similar to what we do here every Wednesday night in Scrap Your Stash. We use up our supplies, our collections, our paper packs, our embellishments, all of those things that are we cherish and are on our shelves waiting to be put into an album to enjoy forever. So that is the purpose of this challenge. I love it that Creative Memories is encouraging us to use up our scraps. So we're also going to make a layout tonight using up our scraps. And I am going to use what I have left over from the Hit the Road collection that came out just a couple weeks ago. I've already used up that collection and all I have left are scraps. So we're going to figure out something to do with those scraps tonight. So that's what we're going to work on. But first, let's talk about a couple other things going on. So Monday is a product launch. So it's Preview Friday. See, this is the great thing about going live with you on Friday afternoon. We have the sneak peek to what's coming out on Monday. So, Simple Page Kit number 5 is coming out, and it is a mom theme for Mother's Day, for all things mom. That page just looks so cute. I love that pink color they have in there with the teal. That just looks awesome. And remember, the 2025 collection is called Noteworthy Days. And so this collection, this simple page kit, is in that same color palette as the Noteworthy Days. So it's going to look great with all of your pages that you're using, that you've used that collection. It's all going to coordinate, which I just love. I love that they give us a collection every year, and then every month they come out with a new simple page kit that coordinates with that collection. The less that I have to think about what's happening, the better. Um, Another thing that's starting on Monday is a last chance paper buffet. So when you spend $120 on the last chance paper buffet, you get this water bottle bag free. So it's an insulated bag to carry your water bottle in. Great for going to crops, but also if you are a hiker, a walker, great to have that water bottle handy for you right there in this insulated bag, and whatever drink you have there will stay nice and cold. So that starts on Monday, this free Creative Memories insulated bag. And it looks like it has a zipper on the front that your phone would fit in. So that is a great bag for going on excursions. So that starts on Monday. The new collection that's coming out on Monday is called Craft Happy, and it's all the crafts that we love, not just scrapbooking, but there's crochet, there's knitting, there's all of those fun, artistic things that we love to do, those creative things that we love to do are part of this bundle. And you see that there's also a new border. Let me see, point the right place here. A new border punch up here in the top left corner. That is also coming out on Monday too. If you buy this whole bundle, then you will on Monday or Tuesday, then you will be entered into a contest to try and win free adhesive for a year. So be sure and purchase this Buy It All bundle on Monday or Tuesday to be in the running for free adhesive. Who doesn't like free adhesive? And plus, when you buy a collection in the first couple weeks, you also get 10% off that bundle. So that is the best time to purchase our bundles is the first couple weeks. And here's another picture of the Craft Happy for Handmade Moments collection that's coming out on Monday. And you get a little peek of the album over here. I'm going to show you a full picture of the album, but look at all these fun little buttons and all of these embellishments for all of those crafts that you love to do. I love that. So who doesn't want to fill this beautiful yellow canary album that has all of those fun hobbies on the front with pictures of your projects that you've completed? I know my mom is used to quilt, and she would take a picture of all of the quilts that she made before she gave them to friends and family, and then kept an album of all of her projects so she could look back on all of the ones that she had made. So this just seems like a great album for that. Also, if any of the young people in your lives, any of your grandkids or your kids are into crafts, what a great album to start for them for all of their crafts that they're making. All right. So let me see. What else do I want to tell you about tonight? I also want to tell you about my summer fun crop that's coming up on June 7th. It is limited to 10 people, and it is from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And it's at the Manor in Xenia, Ohio. And we're going to have so much fun. It's an all-day crop, and we're going to have projects and prizes and just have a blast. But it is limited to 10 people. So grab your crafty friends and let me know that you want to attend. Just send me an email, or you can send me a text, or however you want to contact me, whatever method you have. My email's in the bottom corner here now. Just send me an email and let me know that you want to attend this fun day of scrapbooking with us. I can't wait. It's my first event at this venue, so I can't wait to hang out with you. It's a very beautiful home, and we each get our own table. We have a light on our table, we have a trash can, we have a cart, and there's a full kitchen so we can bring food to share and just have a great day of fellowship with our scrapping friends. I'm excited for that. Okay, one more thing, and then we're going to get to those projects. I still have about 10, I think, of these beautiful collections from um, the Escape bundle. This is the collection that if you are an advisor, you could earn for free. And we're also able to purchase these bundles to sell to our customers. So I have this beautiful tropical, if you're taking a vacation to the beach, this one says Cancun because that is where the advisor um, trip is this year. So advisors earned a trip to Cancun. So it does say Cancun in the stickers, but you could use this for whatever tropical pictures you have. So I do have some of these available. It is $128 for everything you see here, the paper pack, the borders, the stickers, the embellishments, this beautiful pod that you can see sitting right behind me right here. That's the pod right there. It is huge. I have 2 albums in there and project folders and a bunch of stuff in my, pod right now, and then also the mat pack. So $128. Just let me know if you are interested in purchasing one of those before they are gone. Again, just send me an email and, let me know, and we will, get that shipped out to you. I also have just a couple of the albums that go with that bundle, and the album is $40. So let me know if you're interested in the album as well. All right, I think that's it. Let's get to the fun. All right, I see some people joining, so I would love for you to say hi and let me know where you're joining from. I appreciate you being here. I know it's in the middle of the afternoon for us that are on the East Coast, and for those of you that are on the West Coast, you guys are probably still at work. So please enjoy watching the replay of the video. All right, so let's get to it. I'm going to switch over to my table now. So, like I said, this is the Simple Page Kit from October of last year. So, the color palette for 2024 is called This Life. And it was bright, beautiful color palette. And like I said, every month then a new Simple Page Kit comes out that coordinates with that collection. And this is the Simple Page Kit number 10 from October. Now we put this together sometime in a previous Wednesday night. We assembled this kit together. And like the title says, it is definitely a simple kit to assemble together. There we go. Just get that on my. You get all of the instructions with the kit. You get the picture of what the kit looks like after you've assembled it. You get the cutting guide, and you get the layout of where to adhere your pieces to on the layout. So it's so simple. And the cutting guide is so great because on the back of the paper, it has the lines of where you cut. So all you have to do is just follow the lines, cut on the lines to get these pieces that you see here on the layout. So easy to cut and assemble these beautiful kits. And they even started including the cardstock that goes. So if you want to add any other fun embellishments or decorating, here are the cardstock colors that match this kit. So it's lots of fun. And these are also being released every month this year too. They are doing the Simple Page Kits this year as well. And they are in the color palette of Noteworthy Days. That is the collection for 2025. So check that out. We started doing these calendar albums last year, and I just love it. I'm having so much fun with it. I love being current with my yearly album. I love decorating the calendar page with small pictures and then embellishments and fun little things. And also then putting in here things that I've done during the month or events that are happening, celebrations that are happening, like birthdays and anniversaries. It's just a great way to show what you're doing. I just think it would be so cool to have an album that my grandma put together and I could see what she did with her day-to-day activities. I would love to look through something like that from my grandma. So I'm hoping that my grandkids will feel the same way and love looking back and seeing everything grandma did in October 2024. So one of the things grandma did was she went to Kings Island, and that is an amusement park here in Ohio. It is down by Cincinnati. And we went to Kings Island in September of last year. They do a Halloween Fear Fest is what they call it. And it was so much fun. We had such a great time, such great weather, and I hadn't been to Kings Island in many, many years because I don't ride rides anymore. It was something we did every year when I was a kid. So going back to the amusement park that we went to every summer was really fun to be back there again. And of course, I took my girls there every summer as well. So lots of fun memories at the amusement park. Um, but this was my first time in a long time at Fear Fest, and so we just had such a great time. So you can see I've printed off my pictures, but I have not adhered them to the page yet. So let me just move some of these off, and we're going to start doing that. I'm going to grab my jumbo tape runner, and we are going to put some of these in these photo mats. Remember, we cut these out. This is part of the cutting guide. So we cut these out and put these all on the pages. We just hadn't put pictures on them. So now we get to decorate the pages with our pictures. So some of the mats are in directions that aren't the same direction as my picture, but that's okay. I'm going to lay this one, my landscape picture, on this portrait mat. And that's okay because I still have the color behind it. It still brings it out. It gives it a different look. You know, it doesn't always have to be exactly the same all the time. And then I trimmed these two pictures to fit in this bottom section down here. And then I think this small one I'm going to put on the calendar page. So that's why I've started printing some out that are 3.5 by 3.5. And then I also printed a couple that are 4x4s. So different size pictures has really been a fun change for me than, printing everything in 4x6. So not only am I enjoying the smaller pictures on my calendar pages, I am enjoying them on my layouts. They are fitting nicely and give it a different look. So I'm going to put this one down here because we're going to do something up here. I'm not sure what yet, but we'll find some kind of a Halloween something to put up here. Okay, so let me get all of these down. I'm going to set this one aside for right now because I think I'm going to put that one on the calendar page. And then let's get these on down here in this purple section. And again, when you buy these kits, they come with everything you need. The paper, the stickers, and embellishments. You get all of that with your kit. And of course, like we talked about, you get the instructions and the example page so that you have a picture of what it looks like after it's put together. And I just love that because I'm very visual, so I can just follow along on where they put all of their decorations. And see how they have the title over here, and they've done other decorating all around the pictures. I didn't do that because I didn't have my pictures to decorate when we put the page together. So we're going to do that tonight. All right, so here's 3 of the pictures, and I think this is a 4x4, and this is a 3.5 by 3.5. Yeah, and that's another 4x4. So I've got a landscape and a portrait mat over here. I am going to, and it just so happens that it's this color that's in the picture. I just love that. I'm going to just lay those out like that. So you don't always have to have that 4x6 on a 4x6 mat. It looks awesome when you change it up a little bit. It gives it some variety. And it's funny that I have the little eek right here because this is a picture of them on a roller coaster called Invertigo. I'm going to hold that up for you. I did not go on this roller coaster. I actually have a couple more pictures that I want to print out and put on here. So I might change my mind about this one. This one might go on the calendar page because I have some pictures of them, of the roller coaster when it was running, when the ride started. So I think I want to squeeze those in here too. So I'm going to leave this part open. I haven't printed those out yet. All right. So the last three pictures down here just worked out so well, printing them smaller because they fit so nicely down here in this purple strip. Okay, there we go. So I have my pictures on. They're adhered. And then I have two other pictures. I'm going to grab my calendar page again. And somewhere around in here. We didn't actually go in October. We went in September. Because they start the Halloween celebration in September. Because they really go all out with these decorations. So just want to take a look here. I wonder if I want to put them in September, because I think we went like around we went on the 20th. Yeah, so I think I need to put this in the September part of my album. Because here I have written in Fear Fest at Kings Island. So I'm just going to put these two pictures right here on the calendar. So if you are not familiar with the idea of the calendar album, I'm going to trim this one just a bit. We started this last year. This is my chronological album for 2024. And normally I would just do, all my layouts from the year. And then last year they came out with this calendar kit. So it's a change in how we do our chronological album for me, because I like being able to keep track of all of the fun things on the calendar that we did, all of the events that we went to. I think this will fit right there, or I'll do it that way. So instead of having a layout for my flowers and for things growing in my garden, which I love to do, this was a little different because now I can do a few little pictures of flowers here and then have the layouts be the events that we did during the year. So for example, my scrapbooking weekend or hanging out at the swimming pool together, that kind of stuff. So I just like the variety that it gave me and the fact that you're printing your pictures off during the year and getting them in your album. So here was August and I printed these off small, here's a birthday party and here's a concert we went to and here's a trip out to the cemetery. Here's another concert, here's 4th of July. And I did 2 layouts for these because I had a lot of pictures for this event. So I made a layout, but it just changes up the album and the focus of the events that are happening. So instead of having an album full of, like I said, me and my husband going out to eat, because we're empty nesters. So, we go out to eat, we cook out, we, take pictures of things happening in the yard. And I don't know that, my kids and grandkids are going to want to look through all of those types of things in the future. So it highlights the fun events and then also still includes those fun things that you love, those hobbies that you love on the calendar. It's not a full layout. It's some fun little tidbits on the month, and it lets them know when these things were happening. So I just love the idea of the calendar album, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I do. So there we go. I've got my 2 pictures from the amusement park trip that we did on the calendar album, but then I also have the layout that I will get in here for September. Since we went in September, I will get that in here. But let's decorate it first. Let me get this. So we hadn't decorated it because we wanted to wait until we got the pictures on, because a lot of the decorations they put right on the top of the picture. So let's check it out. So we have our Happy Halloween. And then I also did the eek over here that they have on the side. So, and you can definitely change this up to however you want to do it. They did a little photo corner over here of the spider webs, and oops, sorry. And then one more up here in the corner. And then they did candy down here. Well, that doesn't really go with my theme. So I'm going to do the spider web photo corners because I love a photo corner for sure. I just love how that looks. It brings out your picture. And we'll do this one over here. She's going to have a photo. She's going to have a spider web on her head. There we go. And then they did candy, but that doesn't really go. And then they did trick or treat. So they do have a spooky sticker here. So that will be good. Spooky. All right, let me grab my foam squares. Yes, for sure. We're going to put these up on some foam squares. And first, I'm going to take the adhesive off the back of the sticker. And I'm going to do that with my little powder dispenser. That way, none of the sticker will accidentally stick to the paper. I want it all to be lifted up with the foam square. I don't want any part of it to stick down to the paper. So we're going to put some foam squares on this. There we go. We'll put a little spooky sticker over here. All right. I love an arrow. I just love to put arrows on and point to something that I want you to really see. All right, let me get this out of the way here. They did a little pumpkin over here. And then they did spooky over here. They did trick or treat. And then they did the other 2 spider web corners over on this side as well. So let's see. I always have extra stickers too. I like the pumpkin. He's a cutie. Let's get him on there. Oh, I'll put the happy haunting up here. That's perfect. Okay. And I do have a couple other pictures too that I want to get on there. So I may just leave some space up there for that. But let's put this little guy right here. He's a cutie. And he's got a little friend. Maybe we'll just keep them together. A couple little jack-o'-lanterns going on. Oh, there's 3. Perfect. I love it when there's odd number there. Yes, that looks cute. All right, and let's do Happy Haunting up at the top, because I do have a picture of my granddaughter with some of the monsters that roam around the amusement park and scare everybody. So the Happy Haunting will go well with that picture. So like I said, for the powder, I take the adhesive off because that way, if I put this down, there's it doesn't accidentally stick down and then you've got a curvy wave going on. Um, so you get all the adhesive off and you cover it with foam squares, and then it's raised up evenly and it's not drooping down anywhere. And I'm going to put this one on top of the picture because I have another picture I want to put up here. Happy haunting. Oh, yes. Very cute. All right. And then they did the spider webs. Let's grab the spider web corners. We'll do those over here too. Cute little photo corners. Right on the corner of the picture. There we go. All right, I think for now, that's all I'm gonna do. And then you see I have several that are oh, boo to you. I've got to do that one over here. They have these little necklaces that you can buy if you don't want to be scared by the monsters. They'll leave you alone, and it's called a no boo necklace. Let me hold that up so you can see it. So I'm gonna put the boo to you sticker right next to that picture. See, it's got a cute little ghost on it that lights up, and then on the lanyard part it says no boo, so they won't scare you. So if the kids don't want to be scared, they won't scare them. So I'm going to put that boo to you over there. That's good. Okay. But I always have a few stickers left over, so I mean you can sticker it up as much as you want, or put this in your stash for another layout. So there we go, fun little Halloween layout for our calendar album. All right. So let's talk about the challenge that's going on right now for Earth Day. Remember, I mentioned it. It is called hashtag Scraps to Stories Challenge. And like I said, it is for Earth Day and it's to use up your scraps. So why not make a layout with all of those scraps that you have laying around? You have the bits and pieces that are left over from your layouts. Why not make them into a layout and not put them in, someplace to store them to use later? When you're done with the collection, grab those scraps and make a layout right away that's ready for pictures whenever you have them. So like I said, it's called Scraps to Stories, and you have until this Sunday night at midnight to post your finished pages, and be sure to use that hashtag when you post them out on the virtual crop group, the Creative Memories virtual crop group. Use that hashtag Scraps to Stories, and they're giving away prizes. So be sure and get your pictures of your finished layouts posted in the Creative Memories virtual crop group, and you could win a prize. And I was trying to see if I have a QR code to that. I don't think I do. I do. Here it is. There we go. So if you hover your phone over that QR code, it will take you out to Facebook, to Creative Memories virtual crop group. And you can join that group if you're not a member, and then you can post pictures. And this is where the virtual crop group is where it all happens. The virtual crops that are the second weekend of the month, they happen in this virtual crop group. Any of these challenges, all of the blog posts that you see out on the blog, those come out in the virtual crop group. So it's a great group of ladies. It's a wonderful community. We all post our layouts and get ideas from each other. So it's a great group to be a part of. All right, so here are my bits and pieces from what I had left over from the Hit the Road collection. And we're going to make something with these bits and pieces. I just went crazy with this because we're getting ready to go on I'm going to use this for a trip that we took a couple months ago to Canada. And I just had a blast using this up. So I've used it all except for these pieces that I have laying right here in front of me. Um, this is it. And then plus I have my mats from my mat pack. So I thought, well, that's a good thing. Those are my scraps. I want to use those up too. So we're going to figure something out with what I have left. Oh, actually, I have these as well. But I think, oh, nope, I have these as well. Now, I think they said you have to have, I want to make sure we have the rules correct here for the challenge. Um, Use your scraps, bits of paper left over from trimming, anything that's left over after you punch, all those little bits and pieces after you punch, and border offcuts can be layered, pieced together, or turned into decorative accents. Okay, so I don't know if I guess I can use this piece right here, I would assume. All right, well, I'm going to because I have this full piece. So we're just going to do a 2-page layout with these pieces that I have here. All right. This is what I have left over. Let's see what we've got. We've got reds and browns and greens and maybe a little photo mat right here. But we have our mats from our mat pack too. So let's do it. All right. So I saw a layout in the virtual crop group that was a bunch of squares, and I really liked the way that it looked. So I was going to try and do something similar to that. So I grabbed my square, and the square is 1 3/4, I believe. Let me double check that. Yes, 1 3/4. So you can make that with, your trimmer, cut out 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, or you could use the punch if you have it. All right. And I'm going to grab, some cardstock. These are the coordinating cardstocks for Hit the Road. One of them is the dark green. Okay, here's the cardstock that I had laying close by. So it looks like I have the blue. I have 2 of those. So let's just do that. We'll do the blue instead of the green. Either one is a coordinating color. And if you need any white pieces, remember you can always use the cover sheet for the paper pack. They are photo safe. All right, so let's start with the red, and I just love this pattern with all of the signs on it. So we're going to do that, and we're going to punch some squares. And we're just going to see how this all comes together. All right, so here's our base pages of the blue cardstock. I'm going to cut the red some way so that it is centered in the middle of our 2-page layout. So let's do this. Let me measure this. I like the way this looks. I'm going to trim off, is that 2 inches? Yes. So I need 2 2-inch pieces on the red, and we're going to put it on either side. And it gives the illusion that it's a full piece of paper, but really it's just 2 2-inch strips on either side. All right, we're going to set this aside for right now. I'm going to, I need to cut this in half. So this is about 8 inches. Yeah, so we're going to cut it at 4 so that we're cutting it in half. There we go. All right, let's get that down, see what we got, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to lay my base page, I'm going to get it lined up here on my 13-inch mat so that I can use these measurements on the edge so that I'm placing these pieces in the same place so that they're even. And it looks like I don't have my photo tape handy. Hold on just a sec. There we go. I like to use the photo tape on these bigger pieces. I just think it lays down nicer. It's easier to get it down on the paper, I find, so that it's not sticking down where I don't want it to stick down. Okay, so we have our paper lined up on the mat. In that square on the mat. And then if you want, you can use a punch that's nearby to help keep your paper from shifting. Okay, and this piece of paper is about 9 inches. So here's my center point. So let's see where we are. This is about 1 inch from the bottom, and this is 2 inches. So we need to bring this up. So here's 1.5 inches. Here's 1.5 inches. So one more should do it. Right there is about the center. You can always also use your 0 centering ruler to find the center. Hard to see the tick marks on this, but the center of the ruler, there we go. The center of the ruler has a 0 on it. Okay, and so then you just line up your piece of paper so that you have the same amount of paper on each side to find the center of that paper. That's how I do it. So if I lay this down here, I can see that I have 1 inch and 3/8, about 1 inch and 3/8 on each side. So then I know that this paper is centered. So that's for those of you who are measurement challenged like I am, that definitely is a tool that is helpful finding the center. Okay, so I just peeled back a little bit of the backing off of my photo tape, make sure that it's lined up on the edge of my paper, and then take it off. And then I can take this side off. There we go. And I didn't have to try and peel it up because it laid down somewhere that I didn't want it to lay down. So now we're going to just back this one up right next to it. Put some adhesive on this one. And I'm just going to eyeball this. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to line this up again. Get our base page lined up on the 13-inch mat, and then line this up to 1 inch. I'm going to use my zero centering ruler again. Lay this guy down here and make sure that I have 1 inch and 3/8. Yep. Okay, looks good. I'm just going to double check this way, make sure it's lined up. All right, looks good. Make sure it's on the edge of the paper. Peel back that little piece of backing just to get your piece adhered down in one spot so it won't shift. Then take the rest of the backing off. Make sure it's still lined up because it could shift when you're taking that backing off. And there we go. And then we're going to do our red piece. I just love these colors. Nice and bright and fun and happy little colors. All right, so there we go. So now it looks like we have a full piece of red behind our sign decorative paper, but really it's just 2 strips. I love that effect. All right, so let's punch some squares now. And we're going to put some squares. Ooh, this is the one with the license plates on them. I love the license plates. Let's punch some square license plates. And we're going to decorate around the edge. And if I do this well, it looks like I'm going to have a strip left over. So that's going to be cool. If I get these all lined up, I'm going to have this nice little strip left. And we're going to use that. That's why I turn it over so I can see exactly where I'm punching. I can line up my paper and try and conserve on some paper. Okay, one more. And this isn't going to be a full square, but we'll still cut this out so that we have that fun little strip. If I can. There we go. Okay. There we go. Fun little strip of paper that we'll use down here. I'm going to trim it up a little bit because it's not as even as I would like it to be. And then we have these. Okay, so we can, how many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. Oh, perfect. 4, 5, 6. All right, I'm going to trim this one up to get this side even. And I'm just going to line it up with that second dotted line on the on the cutting mat, this gray mat that's underneath your blade where your blade cuts on. And let's just talk about that for a second because a couple people have asked me about these mats. So remember, you have 4 positions on this mat. There's 2 positions on each side. So when you wear out one, and I'm going to hold this up. Hopefully it'll focus. Come on, focus. Okay. So you can see how I have an indent from cutting. And you can't see the dotted line anymore. When the dotted line disappears, it's time to change to another position. So I used position number 1 on this side. Then I turned it around and used position number 2. Then I flipped it over, and now I'm on position number 3. When this one wears out, then I'm going to turn it around like this and go to position number 4. So you just have to do that turning around in this little spot here of your mat. Because if your cuts are coming out frayed and not clean and crisp, it's time to either flip your mat or get a new one or get a new blade. And what I've started doing with my blades, now this doesn't tell me how many cuts that I have on a blade, but it tells me how long I've been using it. I write the date on it. So I started using this one on the 22nd of February. And I know that the last one that I used, I think was about 6 months I had it. Now, maybe that was too long. I don't know. But at least I have an idea, of what my average time is of using the blade, the straight blade. All right, so let's get this lined up and trim this extra off here. And remember, use your sight guides because that has that black line in the center to show you where your blade is going to cut. There's a black line. I know it's hard to see, but there's a black line in the center of this plastic. And there's a guide at the top and there's a guide at the bottom, and every one of our 12-inch trimmer has these. They're just stuck. If you don't know, haven't seen them, they're just stuck down here where they store because they tuck in there nice and tight so that they don't flop around. So there's one at the top and the bottom. It's my favorite part of this trimmer because then I can see and line up what I'm trimming to make sure it's even and where I want to trim. So it shows me exactly where my blade's going to cut. All right, I think I have it. Now with this small, I'm going to hold on to it and go slow because it's a small piece. It's going to shift because the bar, there's not enough space that the bar can hold on to it, the arm. So hold on to it because it could shift. All right, let's see if that did it. I don't want to move it yet. No, I didn't quite get it. It shifted on me. All right. So now I have to get this centerpiece right here. You could also use some repositionable adhesive to hold it in place. Okay, so that looks like it's good. Nope. Still have a little bit. I might just have to hand cut it. I'm just not great at cutting straight, so last resort is hand cutting for me. There we go. Good enough. All right. I'm not sure where this is going to go yet, so let's just kind of place it somewhere. I also have this piece up here. I don't know if this will go on top of this. I mean, it's the same size. It fits perfectly. How awesome. And then I have another strip here that had the cars on it. I could do the cars up there. It's a lot going on, so I might just do the brown. Okay, so let's cut the green into our squares, and let's see if these are big enough here. Yeah. So I've got the green on one side. And the signs on the other side. So I think I'll use the green because we see the signs in the middle. Okay, so I think this one, I can get 2 out of this one as well. Perfect. Used that up. And that's what we're trying to do, right? Use it up so that we don't have any bits and pieces that we have to store somewhere. All right, so we're going to put those over there. I'm not sure what this green's going to do. I could do another end piece, but I'd have to cut it in half so that I have a end piece on each side. Possibly. All right. And then this one is a nice size for a photo mat, but let's see how these fit together here. I have room for at least one more square. So let's see. We've got green to green. All right. So let's cut this into some squares instead. green, and one more green. If I can just line it up. There we go. Okay. So now we have the green squares all the way down the side. All right, let's look at our mats. Remember, we had the mats to use up too. And I don't know if I'll use, is there? Well, that one would go. That's also brown. Perfect. I think that's going to be good. So we'll have a photo mat over here and a photo mat over here. Awesome. All right, let's get some of this down before we do anything else, so we can get some of this in place. I'm just going to leave like, what, 1/8 of an inch on the outside. Try and leave the same amount. Okay, it's not, I need more adhesive. Let's do the corners. Okay. And just make sure, see, we have a lot of room down here, so we can space them out a little bit more. So I'm going to move this one down just a tad. Okay. I'm going to use my repositionable. I think that's going to be easier to get on these so that they get on the corners so that they're laying down flat. Nope, I didn't get that green one on straight. That's what's great about repositionable. You can reposition, and then once you leave it, it will stay. It's not going to fall off. It's not temporary tape. It's just little dots, which makes it easier to reposition. Okay. Fun. Let's get this guy down. And I'm just going to center him between top and bottom on this red piece. And I guess leave about the same on each side then of the red and the blue here. Just center it. All right, let's get the other side. Using up our scraps. I like with these smaller pieces, the repositionable, and getting that on the corners so that they're not sticking up. I like my corners to lay down flat. This one isn't straight either. Sometimes I think it's the optical illusion of what's the design on the paper that makes it look like it's crooked. And then sometimes it's just me because I put it down crooked. Okay. And green. All right, hopefully I have these lined up. If not, we'll move them around. I think we're pretty good. All right, and then here we go. We'll put some adhesive on the back of this one. All right. And there we go. We have used up our scraps from all of the pages that we made with this collection. And I'm probably going to put this down here at the bottom, these fun little license plates. And then I'm a very symmetrical person, so I'll probably put the brown up at the top. And then I've got definitely have plenty of embellishments to make this layout look fun with all of these cute little guys. The embellishments have some embossed embellishments, so they're raised and it makes them really cute. Oh, I love that little car. The little car looks cute. So something like that. And we've used up the whole collection, all these bits and pieces. We don't have to store anything. I love it. So, ladies, it is getting to be 5:30 Eastern here in Dayton, Ohio. And remember, tonight is our Friday night virtual crops. So I hope you guys can hang with me in my Zoom room. And I'm going to put up my QR code for my Friday night virtual crop. Here we go. So just hover your camera on your phone over that QR code, and it'll take you to the registration page. Fill in your name and your email, and then Zoom will email you the Zoom meeting link to join us for a fun night of scrapbooking together. And this is what we do. We grab a sketch and we make that sketch together. We learn from each other. All of our pages look different because we each scrap differently. We have our own creative styles. So it's so much fun. I hope you guys will come join us tonight. It's at 6:30 to 10. And we usually get about 3 layouts done in that time frame. So come and join us tonight. I'm so excited to see you guys and have some fun at the Friday night virtual crop. All right. Well, that is it for me tonight for this week for our Scrap Your Stash. The next several weeks, I will have a recorded video that you can watch every week. It will post out into my groups and on my page and in my YouTube channel at 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. And it'll be a new layout, and hopefully it will give you some inspiration and motivation to work on your albums. I am going to be out of town for the next 3 weeks, so it will be a recording for the next 3 weeks, and then I'll see you live after that. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your April and May. And please, keep looking out in my Facebook groups because we do have a launch next week with the new products that we talked about earlier. And then in a couple weeks, we'll have another launch in May. So watch for those fun collections to come out. And the secret box number 2 is supposed to be coming back in May as well because it's sold out when they went live with it earlier this month. So it's supposed to be coming back in May so you can purchase that. So grab one of those because it is gorgeous. All right, you guys, I can't wait to see you tonight at the virtual crop. And I hope you have a great weekend. And I will talk with you soon. Good night.